Well, race fans, Apex race fans, that is, welcome in. Get a little bonus coverage this week of the Mazdas as they head north of the border to Mosport, one of my favorite tracks. It's generally a favorite on the Apex iRacing League schedule too as well, but we're going to head there today. A little bit of Mazda racing, 93 degree track temp, 71 degree air temp. Should be a whole lot of fun. A couple 20-minute battles here, heat racing amongst our Mazda drivers. You can see them getting the gloves off in practice right now, throwing everything but the kitchen sink at the competition, seeing how they can sort themselves out in practice, but still plenty of time to go here as 2 minutes left in practice. Then we'll get into qualifying. I am, as always, Rob Campbell. Oh, as we mentioned that there, Kent Kruger just hammers on the brakes and causes a whole lot of catastrophe there between the pack and behind. Let's see if we can take another quick replay of what happened there. There we go. So Stan Hammonds gets into the back of Spencer Bodway. No harm, no foul in practice sessions, though. Everybody gets to head back to the pits, get a fresh car, and head back out on track. This is week 3 of the 12-week Apex Mazda series. So, number of drivers turned up for this one. We got 14 cars on track for this evening's race. A little bit of a holiday weekend, north and south of the border. So, we'll see how many drivers actually turn out for this one. Take a look here at the times. Looks like right now Spencer Bodway up top of practice right now, 1:32.5, about half a second quicker than Sean Teeter in second place. So looks like our drivers fairly competitive out there, all the way back to 9th place. Evan Heineman only sorted by not even a second, so it's going to be tight. Lots of battles to be had out there. If you're enjoying the Apex this broadcast, by all means, feel free to join the league. They're always looking, always recruiting for more drivers. They would love to have you in. You can find all the information at apexthisiRacing.com. You can find out all the 3 weekly races. There's even an endurance race or endurance series this season that you can try your hand at if that kind of tickles your fancy. If you find yourself more of a endurance type driver, that is, I'm trying to remember what night that I think that's bi-weekly. It's every other week. It's not a weekly feature, but have a look at that myself. There might be a race or two I might want to participate in that. But to the racing at hand, there's the big dog, Kent Kruger, the chief admin of the league, currently sitting in 10th place in practice. So Kent's going to want to find a little bit of pace once qualifying rolls around. See if he's able to find that pace. Tim Havelka currently sitting in 12th place in practice. Again, another driver is going to want to try and find a little pace once qualifying rolls around. And about 15 seconds left to practice, and then we'll head into qualifying sessions. So why don't we get a brief word here from iRacing while we wait for practice to click over and qualifying to fire up.
Mazda can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side
Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom. Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As that's still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh,
and
my
to the
goodness.
line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Okay, after that brief message from iRacing, we're back here over into qualifying. Number of drivers on track, no time set so far, so we'll just kind of carry on here and wait for a couple drivers to put in some quick laps. Again, we've got 14 drivers on track. While that's happening, I'm just going to take a quick break here and load in the championship standings for this series, as I wasn't actually planning on broadcasting this one, so we're doing a quick little pop into the Mazda races here. So, hope you enjoy. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Qualifying well underway now. Mark Miller sitting up top of qualifying. The 132.9. Nice lap by him. Dan Elgin in second place now, only separated by 0.2 of a second behind him. Sean Teeter in third, 0.3 back of Mark Miller. So real tight at the top between our top qualifiers right now. Let's take a quick look while we have a moment at the championship standings, as I was able to plug in those totals here for us. So you see Mike Bond leading the mid-pack Larry side of things. He's got 20 points over Zach Peterson in a logjam for second place, with Ryan Harris and Aaron Sunday all combined at 18 points. Tony Habish in 5th, 17th points, and Craig Thompson in 6th place with 16 points, tied with Donald Mensing. Mark Valente in 8th with 14 points, Paul Bailey in 11th, and Kent Kruger rounding out the top 10. And then we'll take a look here over at the pro side of things in the Mazda field. Stan Hammond's leading the way at 21 points. Corey Mitchell in 2nd, 1 point back. And then we find Spencer Bodway in 3rd, 18 points. John Mutsalv in 4th, 16 points. Roman Bykoff sitting at 15 points in 5th. Joseph Meyer in 6th with 14 points. Jonathan Cooper in 7th with 13 points. And rounding out the field, Sean Teeter with 5 points. So plenty of room for our drivers to make some moves in this one. We got a number of our drivers in the championship battle in the session so far. Looks like we're still waiting for Stan Hammond, Zach Peterson, Sheldon Rosenbaum, and Eric Bueno to set qualifying laps. They're potentially going to start from pit road or at the back of the pack. On board here with our current pole sitter, Mark Miller, still holding top spot, although Dan Elgin's closed in that gap a little bit. Elgin took another 10th out of the gap between he and Mark Miller, got it down to 17 tenths now. We'll see if Elgin able to find a little bit of extra pace here to close that gap on Mark Miller. Currently Miller looking strong up top. Sean Teeter was strong last season in the GT4 Porsche Cayman in the Porsche Cup series, Porsche series. Was always battling near the top end of the sharp end of the field with Spencer Bodway, our winner of the GT4 Cayman series last season. Bodway currently sitting in 8th place in qualifying right now. We'll see if Teeter able to improve this time by. He's heading up into the final set of corners. 2 more corners to go on this one, and then we'll see what kind of time Teeter can put in. Currently sitting 3, almost 4 tenths back of pole sitter Mark Miller. 1 more corner to go and across the line for Sean Teeter. We'll see if he's able to pull out a quick lap here. Oh, he's going to go off track in the final corner. That's going to negate his lap, unfortunately for him. Let's go back and see how Evan Henneman's doing. Currently our 4th place qualifier. Evan's got a nice paint job on that Mazda. He's about midway through this lap. He should have enough time to come around and finish up this lap. Pick back up in him in a little bit as big dog Kent Kruger. He's going to go around for another lap 2 as well. Kent might not be able to finish up this lap, a little farther back on track than where Henneman was. Right now sitting in 6th place. He found some pace from practice. We saw Kent down in, it was 10th or 11th in practice last time we checked in on him. Murder Motorsports back on track. Corey Mitchell, he's got a paint on his Mazda this time. When we caught in on week 1, Corey did not have a Mitchell Motorsports paint thrown on her, but he's got something shining up there now. Corey currently sitting in 10th place in qualifying, the last place of our drivers who have set a lap. So Corey's going to want to put in a bit of a heater here as he heads into the final couple corners. 30 seconds to go. He should have plenty of time to finish up this lap. We'll see if he's able to improve. Into the final corner, Mitchell brings the car, able to keep it on track. And across the line, we'll see if he's able to improve. He does. He moves up into 6th place with a 133.6. That's going to drop Kent Kruger down to 7th. We see Kruger heading to the line now. Is he able to improve and take that spot back from Mitchell? He does not. That looks like it was a either at an off track later on in that one, but it is not going to count. Tim Havalka, fortunately for him, he is not going to make it to the line. That's going to do it for qualifying. We'll take a look at the qualifying results here and set the grid up for the race. There we go. Mark Miller going to lead the way with Dan Elgin to his outside. They'll have Sean Teeter and Evan Henneman in behind them in row 2. Row 3 goes to Tim Havalka and Corey Mitchell in 5th and 6th place. Kent Kruger and Craig Thompson going to make up 7th and 8th. And row 4. In row 5, Spencer Bodway and Aaron Sunday are going to find themselves in 9th and 10th. Stan Hammonds and Sheldon Rosenbaum going to start in 11th and 12th place. And then we're going to go back to our final stars. Zach Peterson and Eric Bueno are going to run tail end shotgun on the field here this evening. So we wait for our drivers to grid up 14 cars in this one. Looks like all 14 should be making the grid. This is nice to see. Wait for about half the pack to grid up here. I believe the first race is a 20-minute heat. And I believe we do a quick little invert. I can't remember if it's a random invert or not, but we'll see once the race ends for that one. But just waiting on Sean Teeter, Spencer Bodway, Sheldon Rosenbaum, and Eric Bueno. It's unknown whether Eric will grid up. We didn't see him in the tail end of practice or in qualifying, so we'll see. Just waiting on Rosenbaum and Teeter now. Rosenbaum pushing the limit to the last minute, as well as Teeter. There's Teeter's grid. Teeter has grid up. Just waiting on Sheldon Rosenbaum and Eric Bueno. It looks like they are not going to grid. So we're going to be starting without them. All right, pace car is away. Mark Miller going to lead them away behind the pace car. 20-minute sprint race for Heat 1. See if Dan Elgin's able to get a jump on Mark Miller into turn 1. Two of them fairly competitive on lap times. It'll be interesting to see if Elgin able to find that extra tenth or two he needed. Teeter and Henneman will be right in behind, ready to capitalize on any type of mistake between those two leaders. Couple more corners to go behind the pace car, and then we'll be going green. It's like Dan Elgin kind of laying back a little bit from Mark Miller. He's going to want to get himself a little closer up front there. Into the final corner they go. Barney waiting with the green flag. And looks like a little bit of an unorganized start there. Not sure if Mark Miller jumped the start or Dan Elgin just laid back, but he's got himself in a world of hurt right now. Is Evan Henneman? Oh, he's going to get tagged and spun off by, I believe that was Tim Havelka. I'll have to take a look and see who that white car was. Fortunately for him, that was not the way he wanted his turn 1 to go, but that's going to promote Kent Kruger up 4 spots into P3. Kent is loving that. Corey Mitchell dropped 1 spot out of that, but Kent Kruger, Spencer Bodway, Stan Hammonds, and Aaron Sunday all profited largely off that. Up front, Mark Miller and Dan Elgin able to pull away. Dan Elgin, who looked like he was in a world of hurt into turn 1, a little slower start at the green flag, set himself right up on the back of Mark Miller now. Kent Kruger lead that secondary pack as they try and chase back down the leaders. It's a Kent Kruger, Spencer Bodway, Stan Hammonds kind of led pack. Stan starting at the back of this one in the Sky Lounge machinery. He's definitely going to want to try and get around Kruger and Bodway. I'm sure he would love to lead that pack up towards our leaders. See if we can catch what happened at the race start here now. We have a quick moment. Oh, it was Tim Havelka just got up on the curbs, got a little loose. Not much he can do there. Just came around and unfortunately caught the corner of Henneman's car. And around he went. We go on board here with Hammonds. He's trying to chase down Bodway and Kruger up ahead. This trio of cars trying to chase our 2-pack up ahead. Dan Elgin, Mark Miller. Looks like Elgin got around Mark Miller to take over top spot. Take a look at how that happened when we were in replay. Down the back straight, looks like Elgin got a run around the outside, able to carry more pace through that corner and get himself up and around in front of Mark Miller. You see Kruger and Bodway going too wide here, kind of forcing Hammonds to just wait, pause, nowhere to really go. Hammond's going to look to the inside of Kruger. Bodway hops the inside curve. That's going to cost him a ton of time, as well as Kruger and Hammonds who had to back out of that one. Make sure they didn't get into the tailpipes of Spencer Bodway. Up front now it's Mark Miller trying to push Dan Elgin down the back straight. They can see that trio in behind trying to chase them down, doing their best to try and stay up ahead. So far, so good. Now we got Spencer Beaudoin leading this trio of Mazdas in behind. Kruger looking to the inside. Thought about trying to make a move around Beaudoin. These guys would be better served just stay in file here and try and chase down the leaders. 3 cars in drafts can be faster than the 2 up ahead, but they're choosing to battle instead. Corey Mitchell now leading the 3rd pack. A little bit of a gap over Zach Peterson and Aaron Sunday. If they get themselves organized, they might be able to catch up to that pack being led by Spencer Beaudoin up ahead now. If they can get a nice peloton type pack running, they can easily chase down the leaders. Still plenty of time to go as they're just nearing the 4-minute mark here now. Corey looking like he's sporting a little bit of damage on the front nose of that Mazda. I think he might have got tied up in that turn 1 incident early on. See if we can take a look here and see where Corey might have got some damage. Oh, he just got into the back of Tim Havelka as he came through there. Not much Corey can do there. Car just came right over in front of him. A little bit of aero damage for him. Doesn't seem to be slowing him down right now as he's leading Zach Peterson and Aaron Sunday. As the rest of that pack starting to close in on them. Take a look a little farther up as Hammond's trying to make a move around Kruger. Kruger pushing Beaudoin though. Looks like Hammond's going to get the run on the inside. So he's going to get around Kruger, unable to get around Beaudoin though. He's going to have to find another way around. Hammond's going to drift out a little wide, try and late apex that corner. Cuts back in. And around they go again. So we go on board here with Hammond. You see Spencer Beaudoin up ahead. Last season's GT4 winner. Spencer showing some strong speed early on in this one, as well as early on in the season. I believe he's sitting in 2nd in the pro side of the championship for the Mazdas. Currently right behind Stan Hammond, separated by 1 point through 3 races. Or I guess this is race 3 now. So through 2 races, separated by 1 point. Stan Hammond's looking to the inside. Beaudoin going to try and fight back on the outside, but it looks like Hammond's might have it. Oh no, he doesn't. Thought he was going to carry a little more speed around the outside, but Beaudoin able to fight back. Into Moss Corner they go. There goes the leaders out of Moss Corner. Here comes our chase back. While they continue to battle, looks like Corey Mitchell really closing in that gap now as he's bringing Zach Peterson along for the ride. These guys want to see continued battling up ahead between Hammonds, Kruger, and Beaudoin. That's exactly what they need. But they might be better served to allow Zach Peterson to move up front with that aero damage on the front of Corey Mitchell. It's definitely going to be slowing them down. Back to this battle for 3rd place. It's like Beaudoin going to hold on to that spot. Hammond's unable to get a run through the back straight. Not enough overrun to make a move into turn 10. Both of them going to drift out a little wide. See the leaders coming in through turn 1. There comes the chase back. And then the secondary chase back. Looks like it's now about 5 cars now in that secondary chase back led by Corey Mitchell. Oh, Hammond's drifting out wide into turn 2. Or turn 3, that is, sorry. So it cost him a bit of time. Beaudoin opens up some gap. Check back in our leaders. Dan Elgin still lead the way. Mark Miller looks like he's content to stay in behind, though he's fallen back a little bit, potentially dropping back to pick up this chase pack, possibly. It'd be an interesting strategy if that's what his plan was. Just take a look back from Mark Miller. You can see that chase pack coming. We can hear Dan Elgin coming over the radio telling Mark Miller if he has the pace to pass him. So they're trying to employ the leapfrog technique to stay ahead of the pack. See if it works out. It's a 2-car pack though. If this secondary pack can get organized up a little better and stop battling, they could easily reel in the leaders. But looks like they're choosing to battle this one out as we're Get close to the 8-minute mark. They're going to come around to finish up lap number 6. Oh, Corey Mitchell goes off into turn 10. That busted up Mazda is undrivable now. The right front suspension is just locked up on that machinery. Let's see if we can take another look here. What happened to Corey Mitchell? Looked like he may have dropped a tire off track. Oh, he just got loose coming through there. Unfortunately, nothing he could do. That car was already hurting to start with, and it's in a world of pain now. Back to this battle for third place. They're still battling it out. Hammond's unable to find a way around Beaudoin. Kent Kruger trying to pick a side who he's going to help push. He thought about pushing Stan, then pop back over to Beaudoin. Looks like Hammond's finally going to make that pass stick and stay. We'll see if our championship leader, now that he's out front of this trio, if he's able to pull them along up to that top spot battle. But fortunately, Beaudoin going to go wide out of Moss Corner. It's going to cost him a ton of time. Kent Kruger was unable to make that pass to stay into the draft, but fortunately enough for them, Hammond's not out of draft up ahead. They can easily get that suck back in, catch back up, although it looks like Kruger, instead of dropping him behind Beaudoin, they're going to go 2 by 2 into turn 9. Here comes the leaders through 9 into 10. There comes our battle for third place. Looks like Kruger's going to take that spot away from Beaudoin. Nice move by Kent Kruger, got himself up into 4th place, dropping Spencer Beaudoin back to 5th place. Stan Hammond's now up 8 spots from where he started. A couple of spots gained by the turn 1 incident. Our leaders, they've opened that gap up to about 3 seconds now over the chase pack. Working together is keeping them out front while the battle continues for 3rd spot. It's going to allow them to keep pulling away. Again, I've mentioned it a couple times that chase pack could get a little more organized and not battle for a lap or two. They could easily reel in the leaders. Check back in with our second chase pack, now being led by Zach Peterson after Corey Mitchell lost it into turn 10. We'll see if Peterson's able to haul Aaron Sunday and Craig Thompson up to that pack up ahead. It's like Tim Havalka holding on to the back end of this one. Oh no, sorry, that's not Tim Havalka. Craig Thompson, sorry. Just on the tail end of this chase pack. Confuse the Rust-Oleum machine for Havalka's white Mazda. Looks like Zach Peterson, much better exit at a Moss Corner. Opened up almost a second over Aaron Sunday. Aaron Sunday in the 3-3-1 trying to find a way around Sean Teeter. Sean Teeter's going to make that move. He's down 4 spots from where he qualified for Teeter. A little off track early on from that turn 1 incident. He's in recovery mode. See Kruger caught back up to the tailpipe of Hammonds. These 3 cars back nose to tail again. Need to stay like this for about 2 laps. They could reel in that pack up ahead. The gap just continues to open up wider while they continue to battle. Nice showing by Kent Kruger right now. He's our highest place mid-pack Larry, which is essentially the AM drivers in this league this season. Kent leading the way. Elgin, Miller, Hammonds all on the pro side. Beaudoin on the pro side. Zach Peterson, the next highest placed AM driver that Kruger would be battling with in 6th place. Peterson ways back now, trying to bridge the gap between the 2 chase packs. Fortunately for him, not getting much drafting help from Sean Teeter or Aaron Sunday at this point in time. So Kent Kruger getting help from Spencer Beaudoin, going to try and pass Stan Hammonds on the back straight. He's going to make that move stick. He's going to move Spencer Beaudoin as well up ahead of Hammonds. See Hammonds getting a little slidey out of turn 9. Pushing hard. See if Kruger can now bridge the gap between this chase pack and the leaders up ahead. You can see the leaders up ahead. They're within eye-shot distance of this chase pack, but they just can't seem to be organized long enough to make that chase a reality. See Hammond's dropping back a little bit off Beaudoin, potentially trying to cool his tires down a little bit. We saw him doing a ton of drifting, definitely sliding into that corner. Oh no, he lost it. Hammond's into the tire barrier, tried to push it hard. Now it's just a 2-car pack, but we can see Zach Peterson starting to close up a little bit. While Kruger, Beaudoin, and Hammonds continued to battle, that allowed Zach Peterson to pull that chase back a little closer to that battle up ahead. So we'll see if Peterson gets a little help from Teeter and Sunday. His time starting to be the enemy in this one. We'll see if Kruger and Beaudoin focus a little bit more on working together. Fortunately for them now, though, that gap is 4.3 seconds up ahead to Mark Miller and Dan Elgin. Looks like Beaudoin and Kruger are a little more content to work together. Speaking of working together, our leaders still working together up front. Mark Miller giving Dan Elgin a little bit of a bump draft where they can. Just under 6 minutes to go in this one. Minute 32 laps, probably another 2, potentially 3 laps, depending when they cross the line next time by. See if we can take another look at what happened to Hammonds. There we saw him pushing hard, just lost the back end of the car, pushing a little too hard into turn 4, and around he went. Spencer Beaudoin looking like he's content to stay in behind Kent Kruger as they head into Moss Corner. Out of Moss they come. Beaudoin cutting his exit a little tight there. It's going to cost him a little bit of speed heading out of Moss Corner, but thankfully he has the draft. But as far as working together for them to push forward to try and catch the leaders, that's going to cost them a ton of time. What it is going to work well, though, for is Zach Peterson's charge to try and chase him down. But looks like, again, Zach Peterson's going to run out of time. Looks like Peterson might get some help from Sean Teeter here shortly, as Teeter bridging that gap between Peterson and that secondary chase pack. They've got Craig Thompson and Aaron Sunday a little farther back. Not within real draft range right now, but if Teeter can get up on the back of Peterson, they might have enough time to close that gap between Kruger and Beaudoin up ahead. Time is the enemy, though, as it's quickly clicking away. Our leaders up ahead. Mark Miller not really all that content to just stay on the back of Elgin's bumper the last lap or two. Kind of holding back a little bit, kind of reserving his charge. Could Miller be working his way, prepping for a last lap charge up the Andretti straight? They're going to head into Moss Corner. See what kind of run that Mark Miller gets out of the corner. Both drivers taking tight lines, using up the full width of the track on exit. Maximize their pace out of that corner the best they can. Spencer Beaudoin and Kent Kruger look like they're working together here now. Potentially they had no interest in working together when Hammonds was with them. Now that they've lost Hammonds off the back end, looks like they're going to try and work together now. Or if the two drivers would have worked with Hammonds when they were working together on track, they could have closed down the gap on the leaders. Now they're just falling farther and farther back. We'll have to see if they learn any lessons from Heat 1 when they get into Heat 2, the feature race. We'll see Beaudoin looking to the inside of Kruger now as they come around to start lap number 12. Should be 2 more laps to go. Kent Kruger trying to maximize his exit out of turn 2. Almost lost the back end up on the curbing. See these two drivers working into turn 4. Kent Kruger not close enough to make a move. But getting tighter. He might be able to make a lunge out of Moss down the back straight to retake that position again. But if we have a look back now in behind, Sean Teeter caught Zach Peterson and got around him. Now this 4-car pack is back together, but unfortunately for them, under 2 minutes to go, they're not going to have enough time to chase down Kruger and Beaudoin up ahead. Things could get a little spicy back here. So the battle for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Teeter currently holding down 5th spot, down 2 spots still from where he qualified. So again, not the race Teeter wanted to have, but trying to maximize the results the best he can. Is Zach Peterson looking up to the inside. He's got Aaron Sunday with him trying to push. Peterson not quite enough overrun to make the pass into turn 9. He'll have the inside line to 10 if he can hold on to it. Teeter giving him some room, but Teeter's going to have the inside here again too as well. But Sunday looking up the inside of Peterson. It's going to be a drag race down into turn 1. See if Aaron Sunday's able to make the pass on Zach Peterson. Peterson can get the better run through the outside of turn 1. He's going to make that stick. Aaron Sunday going to have to stay in 7th place for now. Our leader's up ahead. It's going to be the final lap. Last chance for our drivers to make a move. Elgin leading the way into Moss Corner. See what kind of exit Mark Miller gets. This is it. Mark Miller's last chance to really make a move. See what kind of draft he gets down the back straight. Elgin 4/10 up ahead. I'm not sure Miller's going to get enough run to make a move into turn 9. He might have to settle for 2nd place. Gap is closing, but not quick enough for Mark Miller. He's going to fake a move to the inside, but not enough overlap to make that move stick. As long as Dan Elgin can hold on to it through the final corner here, this is going to be his race. Into the final corner they go. Dan Elgin holding on to it. Keep it on the track. It's all good. You know, Dan Elgin's going to take that win. Beaudoin and Kruger to the line. Beaudoin going to hold on to 3rd place. Peterson gets back around Teeter. They're running to the line. Peterson using up all the track and the grass. And Havelka and Mitchell in the battle of wrecked cars. They're just heading into Moss Corner now. Corey Mitchell had to pop in, use his spare car. Thankfully for him, his accident happened right at pit entry. So not a whole lot of time lost for him versus Hammonds, who we saw happen in turn 4, probably about almost as far away from pit entry as you could possibly be. So unfortunate for him, but it doesn't look like Corey Mitchell's going to be able to catch Tim Havelka here before the line. As we wait for our final 2 drivers to head across the line, Barney's still waving that checkered flag. His arm's going to be sore at this point in time, waiting for these guys to get to the line. There it is, Tim Havelka out of the final corner. And Corey Mitchell, that's going to make this one official. Dan Elgin going to take it, followed by Mark Miller and Spencer Beaudoin. Nice race by all of our drivers. I believe they have a 10-minute warm-up, and then they'll be back for heat number 2. So we'll take a short break here, and then we'll be right back. A word from iRacing.
gasket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at him.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom. Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
No back into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh,
and
my
to the
goodness.
line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. It's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Okay, we're back after that brief word from iRacing. So we got Kent Kruger on track, trying to find some pace. We got a moment here. Let's take a look at the line. I forgot we're doing Mazdas tonight. Take a quick look at the schedule here. Let's bring it up. As again, the Mazda is not on the broadcast schedule for this season, but we're just doing a quick little pop in here to give the fellas some broadcast time. So this is week 3. Mosport. Next week they're going to head to the new track on the service. The Shell V-Power Motorsport Park at the Bend, the new Australian track added this season. And they're going to follow that up with week 5 is going to see Road America. Looks like they're doing the club layout at Road America. That'll be interesting. Can't say I've ever seen any leagues actually do the club layout. If that's what it's listed here as the Bend, I'll have to do a little bit of research to see if that's actually club layout or if that's just a mistake. And then they go to Brands Hatch after that, doing the Indy circuit. That's very common in the Mazdas. Circuit of the Americas, they're going to do the West layout. That is round 7. Round 8, they head off to Circuit Zolder. That's one of my favorite tracks. Should be a ton of fun with the Mazdas. Zolder has some super high curbs that the Mazdas will probably just eat up with that soft suspension. Road Atlanta is going to see round 9. Again, they're doing the short layout at Road Atlanta. It's not one that's used very often, but should work well on the Mazdas. VIR for round 10, the Grand Course. That's one of the shorter layouts. I don't think it's the shortest layout though, but I think that's the North Course. So I'll have to do a little research on that one. I can't familiarize myself with that layout off the top of my head. Oran Park is round 11. They're doing the Moto layout. That's another short layout where it kind of cuts out turn 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe it is. And Mid-Ohio Chicane layout. Again, that's another shorter layout I can't place off the top of my head. I think that actually puts a chicane in the front straight, if I remember. They kind of have like a figure 8 oval kind of set up on the front straight, between the front straight and the back straight. I think that might be utilizing that. So some interesting layouts coming up in the Mazda series. Again, if you're interested in joining the league, you can find their website at apexthis.racing. And you can see the various race nights there available. And you can also find their Discord link too as well. So lots of information we had on that page. Actually a well done league page, if I say so myself. It's like Tim Havelka out on track putting in some laps too as well. Havelka wrapped up in that first lap incident. Actually, I guess he was the cause of that first lap incident where he got up on the curbing on the inside. Got the rear end of his car a little loose and unfortunately came over, caught the right rear corner of Evan Henneman's machinery and spun him around. A couple of the drivers had to take evasive maneuvers off track. So no doubt Havelka and Henneman will be looking for better races in the feature race. Be interesting to see how Corey Mitchell does too as well. Suffered a little bit of damage in that lap 1, turn 1 incident. Had to use his spare car, and then, well, I guess he had to use his spare car after he wrecked again in turn 10. So Corey will be looking to have a much better run this time by. Stan Hammond's our championship leader on the pro side. Will be looking for a better race too as well. We saw him lose it in turn 4 while trying to chase down Bodway and Kruger. Another driver will be starting towards the back, be looking to try and charge up towards the front. So we got a couple different storylines to unfold in this one. Let's see how they grid up after the invert. Because right now I only have access to the warm-up times, which is showing me Kent Kruger up top as he's the only one to put in a lap. But Tim Havelka come around, he's going to finish up his lap. See how his practice times compare to Kent Kruger. Let's take a quick look at the conditions. See them in the bottom bar. We've got 71 degree air temp, 84 degree track temp. So I think it's actually cooled off a little bit when we first came on. I believe, if I remember correctly, it was 87 degrees Fahrenheit track temp, so a little cooler. Should be a little easier on these Mazda tires for our drivers. A minute and a half left to go in the warm-up, and then our drivers will be back on track for another 20-minute feature race. Let's go on board here with the big dog. He's going to head around the left-hander down into Moss Corner. And up the Andretti straight. This is where you're going to see a lot of the overtaking opportunities. That's where we saw most of the passes in the heat race. A nice run up the Andretti straight here. Trying to make a move. You can want to place your car on the inside to the right hand side of where Kent is now. If you can do that and then hold that position into turn 10, you should be able to make that move, but it gets real tough with a car to your outside. So you can't come around turn 9 into turn 10 here. And across the line, that's going to finish up his lap. And that's going to give us about 15 seconds to go in warm-up. It's only two drivers taking advantage of warm-up laps here, Havelka and Kruger. So we'll have to see what kind of pace they have coming into the feature as they've got themselves fresh. The rest of our drivers choosing to have a coffee break, maybe go visit the facilities, grab a drink, maybe a snack. There we go. Warm-up is complete. Our driver is going to start heading to the grid. Looks like Kent Kruger going to start on pole for this one. So top 4 are going to invert. Kruger and Bodway making up the front row. Mark Miller and Dan Elgin going to start 3rd and 4th. Zach Peterson, Sean Teeter in the 3rd row. Aaron Sunday and Craig Thompson going to make up row 4 in 7th and 8th. Tim Havelka and Corey Mitchell are going to start 9th and 10th. And then tailing off the field, Stan Hammonds and Evan Henneman. So there we go. Looks like we're just waiting for Zach Peterson to grid up. And we'll have another 20 minutes of action. There we go, field pulling away from behind the pace car. Kent Kruger going to lead them to the green. See if we have a little more organized start this time. We've got Corey Mitchell reminding Kent not to go before the green. See the field heading up through turn 8. Field looking much better. Nice tight bunching. Much more organized than we saw race 1. Hopefully this leads to no incidents into turn 1. But pace car going to duck off here, and then field now under Kent Kruger's control, as well as the green flag. Into the final corner they come. And we're green. Kent Kruger going to lead them into turn 1. Spencer Bodway trying to make a move around the outside early on. Bodway going to take that spot away from Kent Kruger. So Kent's lead lasted all of half a straight. And Bodway now up top. Dan Elgin trying to make a move around Kruger too as well. He's going to have the inside into turn 2. Kent Kruger down 2 spots early on in this one. See if he's able to regroup, get himself back up top. Mark Miller got himself in 4th place, down 1 spot from where he qualified. Pack still tightly grouped. This is a much better start than what we saw in race 1. Stan Hammond's making a move around Craig Thompson, the outside into Moss corner. Looks like Corey Mitchell going to try and follow him. Corey unable to make that pass too as well. Thompson going to hold off Mitchell's advances. See if Corey's able to make the move later on. Spencer Bodway still holding top spot, although he's got Dan Elgin, Kent Kruger tucked up tight behind him with 3 cars breaking away a little bit. Elgin's going to pull out to the left. It's going to allow Kruger to get a run. Elgin can try and go around the outside. Kent Kruger not enough overrun to move up on the inside of Elgin. They're going to fan out a little bit into turn 9 and 10. Into the final corner they go. Spencer Bodway riding up on the curb, a little out off in the grass. There goes our whole pack all the way back to Corey Mitchell, still separated by about a second. So still tightly wound here, this pack. Elgin looks to the outside of Bodway, trying to fake a move into turn 2. Bodway going to fight him off. Oh no, we've lost Craig Thompson. Kent Kruger's going to go out wide. The big dog falling all the way back. He's going to cycle back in just ahead of Corey Mitchell. So we take a look here at what happened to Kent Kruger. Looks like Kruger, oh, he just got a little loose. Initial turn in into turn 2. Little landscaping for Kruger, but keeps it out of that far barrier wall. Fortunately for him, that cycles him all the way back to 9th place, just ahead of Corey Mitchell. So the 2 Apex, this and Mins now nose to tail on track. 9th and 10th, to see if they can work together to work themselves back up through the group. Spencer Bodway still leading the way though for lap 2. He's got Dan Elgin, Mark Miller, Sean Teeter. And then we see Stan Hammond's got himself up 6 spots into 5th place. Bodway going to drift a little wide there. Elgin looks to the inside. It's like Elgin got a little loose through turn 10. Down the front straight they go. Bodway going to lead them through turn 1. Using up a lot of the inside curb. Elgin looks like he got a better run out of turn 1. Into turn 2 they go. And down the hill. Bunch of angry Mazdas. So we got 5 cars starting to break away. This Aaron Sunday falling a little bit off this pack. Trying to get back up in the draft there of the back of Stan Hammonds. Get back into that lead pack, but right now he's got almost losing the bridge. Craig Thompson in behind. Would love to see Sunday bridge that gap and pull him up there too as well. Oh, looks like Teeter went wide out of Moss. It's going to allow Stan Hammonds up in there. Hammond's going to move up into 4th place. He's going to give Mark Miller a push down the back straight. We're going too wide down the Andretti straight. Drivers having to pick a line, who they want to follow. Stammen's giving the bump draft to Mark Miller. Now he's looking to the outside, going to try and dive it in deep. Does he get enough of a run? Mark Miller trying to fight back against, oh no! Sean Teeter off into the wall with Dan Elgin. Oh man, we'll have to take a look and see what happened there. Oh, it's like they just touched. Side-by-side touch, and just the inevitable secondary contact is what sent Teeter back over cross track and cleared out Dan Elgin. But I hate to see it. Meanwhile, Stan Hammond's got himself up top of this one, up 10 spots. He's got Mark Miller and Spencer Bodway on his tailpipe. Aaron Sunday lurking in behind. He's got Evan Henneman and Craig Thompson in tow as well. The big dog, Kent Kruger and Corey Mitchell lurking in behind there too as well. Our top 8 still within draft range. We've lost Tim Havelka and Zach Peterson off the back of this one. Peterson way back on this one. Take a look and see if something happened to him through timing and scoring. I'm not seeing anything flagged immediately. Looks like pit lane start for Zach Peterson, which is unfortunate for him. It's going to cost him a ton of positions. Once you're out of the draft here at Mosport and the Mazdas, you're not getting it back. Mark Miller giving Hammonds the bump draft down the Andretti straight. Spencer Bodway choosing that line to draft in with. As they come fanning out through turn 9 and 10. Cross the line to finish up lap 4. See Sunday going wide out onto the grass. We picked them up heading into turn 1. Our drone is a little stuck in the trees here, but he'll find his way through. There we go. Hammond's down through turn 2. Mark Miller staying tight on the back bumper. Unable to find enough overrun to get him around, move around Hammonds through turn 2 and into turn 4. Spencer Bodway lurking in behind there. We saw the pace that Bodway had in Heat 1. See if he's able to find a way to make a move around. Oh, is our leader Hammond's going to go out into the grass. So it cost him a bit of time. Still not back on track. Aaron Sunday's going to get by. Possibly Evan Henneman too as well. Corey Mitchell in behind. And Craig Thompson get wrapped up in something. Corey Mitchell wrecked for the second race in a row. Well, it sounds like maybe Kent Kruger kicked all that off. Let's see if we can get a quick replay here of what happened there. First, let's see what happened to our leader, Stan Hammonds. As he went off track, he gathered up, and then a little farther back, looks like Corey Mitchell and Kent Kruger got into it, and then Craig Thompson, with nowhere to go, gets into the back of Corey Mitchell. Let's see here. Oh, looks like Kruger. Oh, interesting stuff. We're going to have to unpack this a little more. Let's see here. Looks like Kent Kruger gave... there we go. Kent Kruger gave Craig Thompson a little bit of a bump into Moss. Mitchell gives Kruger a little bit of a bump. And then as Thompson comes back on track, he catches the corner of Corey Mitchell, spins him around. So that'll be interesting stuff in the stewards room. Now we got Evan Henneman up into 3rd place. Henneman, the unfortunate recipient of that turn 1 bump by Tim Havelka in Heat 1. Story of the day, though, right now is Kent Kruger just got wrapped up in that last incident, but he's still got himself on the tail end of this lead pack. He's able to pull some of Hammond's draft, stay within battle range here as Mark Miller's going to lead them around through turn 9 and 10. So finish up lap 6 and put us at the halfway mark. See Spencer Bodway trying to find a way around Miller. Evan Henneman would love to get into this battle too as well. He's definitely feeling better about this race. Compared to his Heat 1 start, we're coming up to some lap traffic now. They've got the Corey Mitchell Murder Motorsports machine back on track. Corey's been in to get his spare car, trying to stay wide to stay out of this battle, but unfortunately there's only so much room there. Corey's going to go off track while he tries to stay out of that battle, but our leader's going to get through. Henneman trying to find a way around Bodway now. Bodway looking to the inside of Mark Miller. Miller closing them off so they can't make a move out of Moss. See our lead pack through there. Hammond's making a move, tried to make a move up the inside of Henneman. Henneman gets back into the throttle, holds onto that spot. Aaron Sunday now trying to find a way around Stan Hammonds. Fortunately for Hammonds, he's on the outside of the draft here. Sunday's going to have that draft from Evan Henneman. It's going to allow him to get up to the inside of Hammonds as they head into turn 9. Hammond's going to try and power on around the outside. He's going to take that spot back from Aaron Sunday. Little tit for tat passing there between Hammonds and Sunday. Pack still tightly wound. The second half separating our top 6 drivers all in this pack, along with the lap car of Corey Mitchell hanging onto the back of the pack. Bodway looking to the outside of Miller. Tough to make a pass through there on the outside. Your best bet is to try and late apex that corner and get a nice run into the left-hander up here and potentially try and make a move into Moss corner. We'll see if Bodway chooses to try that. Miller had him closed off. Down the back straight they go again. See if Bodway makes a move. Feeling kind of comfortable with the gap between he and Henneman right now by the looks of it. Evan Henneman hasn't really shown the nose to the inside all. Bodway pushing the back bumper of Miller, trying to open up a gap between he and Henneman. So the top 3 start working to Henneman looking to the inside. It's going to force Spencer Bodway out wide. Bodway stays into the power though, fighting back. Henneman going to have to tuck back into third. That's allowed Stan Hammonds, though, up into that battle. He had fallen back a little bit. He's right back in the battle now for podium positions. Aaron having to breathe the throttle a little bit through turn 1 into turn 2. Who's going to make a move? Hammonds looking to the inside of Henneman, trying to force a mistake. Henneman dropping a tire into the grass. Won't cost him a whole lot. Hammond's a little earlier on the brakes, trying to get back in the throttle a little earlier, maximize his exit speed. Looks like Henneman was able to carry a ton of speed through that corner. Bodway thinking about making a move to the outside through Moss. Unadvisable move through there. It's a bit of a blind corner. You can easily run off track there. Next thing you know, you're off into the wall. A little venture out of draft has cost Bodway a 10th or 2. Now Henneman and Hammonds tight up on Bodway as he's falling back a little bit from Miller, but they're utilizing the draft on the back straight. Henneman again showing the nose. Hammond's looking to the inside. Could he take the spot away from Henneman? Tighter line by Hammonds. Henneman with the inside line through here though. Hammonds will have the inside line next time by. A little slidey through there. He's going to hold on to it. Oof. I had flashbacks of Heat 1 where Hammonds lost it into turn 4. Trying to fight back on the inside too as well. Again, hadn't been able to defend. While they battle, they've fallen a little bit back from Beaudoin and Miller, but not out of draft range. As Beaudoin looks to the outside at varying line. Interesting move. That's more or less the move we saw Hammonds attempt in Heat 1, where he lost the back end. Beaudoin able to hold on to it this time, though. Top 4 breaking away from Kent Kruger in 5th. We got about 5 minutes to go in this one. It's going to be about 3 laps left. Drivers starting to get on edge, trying to find a way around the car ahead. We're seeing a lot more showing the nose than we had the 3 or 4 laps prior, where everybody was kind of more or less in line. Top 4 cars holding a strong draft pack, although Henneman and Hammonds gonna have to work together a little bit to close that gap after they battled last lap. Kind of fell back a little bit. Henneman going wide, going for a late arcing entry into turn 9. It's gonna cost him a bit of time. We'll see if Hammond sticks the nose up the inside again. No room for him. Hammond's trying to cross over. Couldn't make the move, but has sufficiently closed the gap. It's going to finish up lap 10 and on to lap 11 we go. A couple more times to go around for our drivers. Mark Miller still leading the way. Nice run by Mark Miller right now. It's looking comfortable up front. Hammond's looking to the inside of Henneman into turn 2. And force Henneman out into the marbles, but he stays into the throttle to hold on to that position. Hammond's going to have to try and find another way around. See them dropping a tire into the grass, that dirt and debris getting kicked up into the air. Miller leading the way into Moss. Beaudoin late on the brakes, really closes up the gap there into Moss. A little slower on the exit though. You might want to try a little slower in, faster out next time. He got in there so deep, he compromised his exit speed, cost him a couple mile an hour. Saw that gap open up on Miller on exit. Now it's up to Beaudoin to try and chase him down on the back straight. He's got Henneman and Hammonds in tow. Kent Kruger doing his best trying to catch back up to that lead pack. Unfortunately for him, he's only got 2 cars to help him, Corey Mitchell and Aaron Sunday, and they're not that tight of a group pack, so they got some work ahead of them. Two and a half minutes to go. That's 2 more laps. This one plus 1 more will be all she wrote. Spencer Beaudoin looking a little more aggressive now. Trying to find a way around Mark Miller. Down the hill our Mazdas come. Beaudoin looking to the inside, holding a tighter line. Miller goes out on the grass. It's going to cost him his run through there. We'll see if Beaudoin is able to make that position stick as they head down into Moss Corner. Looks like he's going to have the inside line. He should be able to take that away, as long as he's not carrying too much pace through there. Good news is for Miller, though, he's within draft range. He could potentially take that spot back. Here they come up the hill. Kent Kruger would love to see some more battling up ahead there so he can close that gap. Beaudoin going to lead them into turn 8, sorry. Oh, a little slidey there through turn 8 for Beaudoin into turn 9. Gets it tightened back up into the final corner. Across the line, he's going to lead them around for lap number 12. Barney waving the white flag. This will be the last time by for our leaders. Spencer Beaudoin has to lead it 1 more lap. Evan Henneman trying to make a move on Mark Miller, looking to the outside. Going to try the crossover. Miller going defensive. He's going to have the inside line here. Henneman looking a little wide. Hammond's looking to the inside now. The gloves are off now. Final lap. Hammond looking to the outside. Henneman on the inside. Hammond drifting a little wide. Spencer Bodway loving every minute of this in his rearview mirror. He'd love to see some more of it. Miller going a little wide, going defensive on the inside into Moss corner. Making sure Evan Henneman can't throw it up the inside. Down the back stretch they go. Last time by. Spencer Bodway leading the way. The only lap that matters that you lead is the final one. Right now, Spencer Bodway is leading that lap. Up the Andretti straight they go. Henneman trying to find a way around Miller. He's going to try around the outside. If he can make it stick, he'd have the inside line for turn 9. See how it works out for him. Miller with a strong run. Got the draft of Bodway on the inside. Henneman looking to the outside. He can make the move around Miller. Nicely done. Into turn 10. Spencer Bodway is going to hold on to it. He's going to take the feature race. Evan Henneman going to take second place. Mark Miller going to hold on for third. Stan Hammond's going to have to settle with fourth. Kent Kruger going to lead. Aaron Sunday across the line for fifth. Sunday in sixth. Zach Peterson, his pit lane start's going to result in a seventh. Tim Havalka comes home in eighth. Dan Elgin, after having to come in to use his spare car, he's still out on track. Craig Thompson, too, as well. There we see podium pictures. That's what we expect around here for Mazda races at Mosport. A whole lot of drafting, and Stan Hammonds has binned his car after the race. Let's see how he did that. So he didn't sufficiently hit the wall there. He had to go and make sure of it afterwards. There we go. There's a shot of the iRacing damage model for you. As we wait on Craig Thompson to cross the line to make this one official. There we go. Craig, again, involved in that wreck with Corey Mitchell, unfortunately for him. Had to pop in and use his quick repair too as well. It's spare car. Got himself back out on track. So that's going to do it for this one. Unfortunately, the timing and scoring does not want to show the replay or the final results today. It's been a glitch all day, so we're going to have to do this one the old-fashioned way. There we go. Spencer Bodway takes the feature race. Evan Henneman in second. Mark Miller in third. Stan Hammonds finishes in fourth, and Kent Kruger rounding out the top five. So, welcome, or all done for this one. Congratulations to our winners in the mid-pack Larry field, which would be, let's see, Kent Kruger brings home the win for the AM class, followed by Aaron Sunday and Zach Peterson, our 5th, 6th, and 7th finishing drivers, top 3 in the AM side. On the pro side, Spencer Bodway takes top spot, Evan Henneman and Mark Miller round out the podium on the pro side. So, well done by all of our drivers. Congrats, and happy racing next week. We wish you all the best, and we'll catch you next time. Bye for now.